One Question is brought to you by Turnkey Search, a top industry search firm since 1996.
Yeah, I mean, you said the word brand, and that's such a nebulous term to an extent, but as it relates to our athletic departments and to our athletic department and our 19 sports, just an incredible uplift of exposure and national recognition. It expands beyond the athletic department. Institutionally, what that means for Clemson from an academic standpoint, applications, fundraising, institutionally has been incredibly positive. And from those entities throughout our institution, we've really looked to leverage that comprehensively. So, but back to your point, from a sports and our spring sports and football exposure, we're certainly in the midst of football recruiting right now, Matt, as we talk. But it's just been really exciting. And I don't know that I or any of our coaches have a magic bullet of, we've retweeted or we've captured this to help recruit for our Clemson baseball program. But just that brand exposure, recognition, and excitement has just been incredible here over the last couple of weeks at Clemson, really throughout the whole fall. I will say, too, that, in the fall is certainly our heavy official visit times for some of our Olympic sports, and certainly work those around football, home weekends and those type of things. And I'm sure that'll be that much more incredible this upcoming fall. But as that looks from a recruiting standpoint, brand recognition, institutional success, those have been a lot of the big wins from a football national championship exposure. Well, I'll tell you that, yeah, and there's some really easy benchmarks and metrics maybe from a social media standpoint, and Joe Galbraith and Jonathan Gantt and our communication staff have done a phenomenal job of that really over the last 2.5 to 3 years as we've really looked to resource up that area, and certainly the success we've seen on the football field this fall just has really moved the needle there. So those are some easy metrics there, and yeah, Jonathan publicly posted some of those, but that is something that internally he circulates and we talk about a lot from a senior staff standpoint and within our coaching circles. Other things, certainly attendance, and we talk about attendance at our basketball program, women's basketball and upcoming baseball season. We've seen significant increases in ticket sales there. I mean, probably indirectly from football. The football success, obviously our basketball program, and there's a lot of excitement with baseball upcoming, have a lot to do with that specifically within their sports. But want to say that with some of the work that we've done from a football program, we brought the trophy up, and we've had some of our football student athletes at games, and certainly that cross-promoting has really looked to move the needle there. So there's some easy metrics from a season ticket and a ticket sales standpoint, of course. I want to go back to the institutional standpoint, and again, our president, Jim Clements, is a big believer in the whole front porch idea in college athletics and what that does for a brand as an institution. And so I'm sure as we get into application rates and acceptance rates and those types of things throughout this spring and summer from an institutional perspective, there'll be some good numbers and metrics there that will be able to be captured and somewhat tied back to the football success and brand exposure, absolutely. We sat down and we calendared out really what the second, third, and fourth week of January looked like, and we didn't necessarily have calendar A for a loss, calendar B for a win. We had some contingency plans in place. Yeah, parade and some formal recognition was one. But I'll tell you, the first couple weeks of January were just such a blur coming off of Miami, and then we come back in. We have 8 days directly to get ready for Phoenix. And then even from a football coaching staff and football program standpoint, we get done in Phoenix on January 11th, and our coaches are going out on the road the next day from an open contact period for football recruiting for the last 3 weeks for that push. So administratively, absolutely, we looked at those and we calendared some contingency plans and how we cross-promote again back to men's basketball, women's basketball. But it was just making sure that we were able to capture the momentum as best we could without certainly knowing the outcome of the game until Monday night.
And that's today's One Question, brought to you by Turnkey Search, a top industry search firm since 1996. One Question is designed to give D1 Ticker subscribers valuable insights on how executive leaders in college athletics think about key issues on their respective campuses, in their departments, or within their leagues and conferences. One Question is brought to you by Turnkey Search, a top industry search firm since 1996.